All right, guys, so yesterday I gave you the guidelines for the project that we're going to be doing. Now that you're all working at Can Do Inc., we have to create social media campaigns for different products that might come through my company. These are the basic products that you can choose from and to create a social media campaign around. If there is something, like I said, that you wanted to do that isn't those three, just email me or get a hold of me some way and let me know or ask me and we can figure something out. So, basic requirements down here. This is the basic requirement for the visual aid to promote your product. It's kind of like when you did personal branding, how you had to have a poster. So it's pretty much similar elements. You have to have a recognizable or memorable logo, a catchy, simple brand motto or slogan, a photo, a drawing, or other visual representation of your product. So, like I said, if you choose, the hamburger company, you probably want a picture of a burger and fries, okay, because people really want to be able to visualize the product that they're uh, purchasing. And then just your design, whatever it may be, should be clean, easy to look at. It should not be cluttered or distracting or ugly. Okay. But I do have some models and the rubric that I want to go over with you today. So I'll head right over to the rubric. It's kind of divided in half. Here's the visual that you're going to be creating, but also don't forget that on that presentation handout, there was information about you're going to have to do a press release for your product. So this is, like I said, the longer sort of, I don't want to say essay or speech, but it's kind of like that. It's a bit longer and it goes over what exactly your product is and how it operates. Okay, so first of all, 10 points for your product logo. And what I'm looking for there is just well designed, it's memorable, and also the logo helps to communicate what your product is. So if you think about things like Burger King, the Burger King logo, it did more so in the past, but it kind of looks like a burger. Um, and the McDonald's golden arches, they're super recognizable now, but they also, sort of evoke that feeling of like French fries or like, um, you know, kind of like a golden archway, almost heavenly, I guess. And I think that was originally what the um, designers are going for. Uh, Taco Bell, obviously their logo is a bell. So, something that connects your logo with what the product actually is or the company name. Your slogan, right? So slogans, if they're effective, they're short, they're to the point, they're very memorable and catchy, but they're also, honest. And then effective slogans have some sort of rhythm, rhyme, or ring to them. So not just, a sentence, but like I said, something that's catchy. It's almost like a song. Um, so uh, it's something with all these things, the thing about marketing, it's always about trying to be caught in somebody's head, right? It's almost kind of like a song that gets stuck in your head, right? So keep it short and simple, all right, but make it catchy. Your visual representation, this is the actual like photo or whatever of your product. Again, like I said, you can go to Google Images and stuff and find things for this. Or if you feel like designing your own thing, go right ahead. So you've chosen photography for your artwork that positively and clearly represents the product you're promoting. It might highlight some of its benefits. So with the technology products, usually they have the phone or whatever it is tilted on its side so you can see how thin it is. And with burger companies, they really fluff up that burger so that you can see how juicy and thick and nice it is. You've arranged your visual representation on the page so that it's very prominent, it's appealing, or it's like the first thing they see. And then this is visual design. This is kind of the design as a whole. It's clean, it's crisp, it's not overdone, it's not cluttered, but it's very easy to read. It has a limited color scheme and font palette so that it's not too much. Because another thing you don't want to do for consumers is to overload them. So, I mean, and this is with anything. So, like when you're creating like a Google Slides presentation, you don't want to cram too much stuff on it. You want to keep it clean and simple so that it's appealing and not overwhelming. All right. So, that's 60 points, 20, 40, 50, 60. And then the press release is that still that sort of essay-ish format. So you have some sort of attention getter. And this says presentation, but it's not actually like a presentation because that was more for like when we were still in school. But it creates high level of excitement, anticipation, or hype. Gives the audience a taste of what's to come and wants them knowing more. And then finally, you are naming your product after you do that. So what is it exactly that you're selling? Then there are two very specific things that you want to spend the bulk of your time on. First of all, the product features. So what makes the product unique, special, useful, better than the other competition or whatever. So, the components of the product are explained in detail. So if you're doing the tech company, talk very specifically about, how the smartwatch operates and how, why maybe the wireless earbuds are better than AirPods because AirPods are so 2019 or something. How does it serve the customer's needs? Then product logistics is things that consumers are going to need to know. They're like, wow, this sounds awesome, but there's other things I need. So how does it work? How do you use it? How do you buy it? How much does it cost? And this stuff, it's kind of really up to your creativity. I mean, you're going to want to think of, what makes sense. So if you're doing like the burger, you're not going to want to try to sell a burger for like $20 a pop just because it's fancy. You're going to want to make it realistic. And then finally, clincher, sort of that ending wrap up, mini paragraph about maybe talking again about what got their attention in the first place, and then, maybe leaving it with your slogan or something. All right, so that's basically, it's what I'm looking for. Again, I have all this stuff for you so that you can know what to do, but I don't expect you to look at this rubric and do all of this stuff all at once. I mean, you're more than welcome. I know there are some of you who like to, get a jump on things, but we're going to do chunks of this at a time. All right, so I do have some models for visuals, so I'm going to head over there. And these are from last year, and last year the way I kind of operated this was I had students draw products out of a hat, and they had to find a way to make it work. So it's not exactly something that they wanted to build, but they really just had to be creative in their own way. But I had one student who he wanted to market a chainsaw. And so he has this very clean background with this log, LJ logging, and then kind of going around the star of the log, we have weather resistant, easy start, reinforced bar, lightweight, easy maintenance, made to last. So, I mean, it's easy to see what's being marketed here. The only thing that I would be missing if I were grading it against the rubric I just showed you is, I mean, it does have the log in the background, but somewhere here there maybe should be a visual representation of a chainsaw. All right. I mean, because it says logging, so people know just from reading that, but and they get a little bit of what the feel is from the log in the background, but what exactly is being sold here. But some things that he would get really good points on are, kind of the limited palette. We have black, white, and orange, and even the background kind of fits with that color scheme. We have limited font palettes. I mean, we have this sort of block font. We have this logo font, which doesn't exactly fit. I mean, if it's a logo, it can be a little different. And then we have this kind of fancier serif font, and then it's italicized. And I know that there's a spelling error here, but just it's very clean. I mean, you're not looking at this being like, whoa, what is happening here? All right, the next one is I had a student, he pulled out of the hat laundry detergent. And so he created this logo, and it, like, as a logo, it's pretty darn effective because it looks like soap. It has limited colors, and it evokes that sort of laundry detergent. It has the background. It has the clothes on it. 9 loads for only $14.99. Unfortunately, this down here got cut off, so I don't remember exactly what the 6 was for. All right, but this, again, very clean, not distracting. You get a sense of what the product is just on the visual itself. And like I said, I really like that logo. It's very clean. Like, I think this could be used for an actual product. So that's very nice. Like, you don't need to overthink this. Otherwise, we have this one. This was for like a camping sort of tents, camping gear thing that a student chose. And their slogan was "Explore the World." And that was one thing I also see that was kind of missing from like the laundry detergent, is it on the poster, it didn't have like the motto. It's always nice to have that motto there just to kind of put it in people's heads. But again, very clean. They have this sort of nature photos involved. Again, even the photos fit with the palette. So like these browns and dusky grays and stuff. They have the tent logo. One thing I would have liked to seen on this is actually having the company name on it. So, I mean, explore the world, that's their motto. We have this camp, and I think the name originally did start with an A. So that would have been a really good logo representation. It evokes camping, but it also has the A of the product in it, but I can't remember exactly what the name was. So if they had, maybe right here in a font, then that would have worked out really well. And then the last one we have is Wagler's Treats, a treat that wags. Local, healthy, no artificial flavors, made in Wisconsin, all natural ingredients, popular flavors. And then their logo would be this paw with a W in it. And they included it as kind of one of the visual elements, but they could also turn that into something that's easily drawn. I mean, that's one thing that's another good sort of hallmark of a logo is if you asked somebody to draw it, could they do it? So like McDonald's, easy. Nike, easy. All right. You could draw a paw with a W in it, and the side you could draw some bubbles with, circles around the edges and stuff. So, and I like that, again, this is clean. It uses the visual representation, and Wagler's Treats. You can imagine that maybe Wagler is somebody's last name, but they have their, slogan right there on it. And then kind of still very clean, unobtrusive. Down at the bottom, they have some of the features, but it's not anything that gets in the way. All right. So you don't really need to overthink this stuff. But I just wanted you to kind of see what exactly these things look for. Again, if you have any questions about the stuff, just email me or try to start up a Google Meet or a Hangout or whatever, and I'll be more than willing to answer any questions that you have.